hear that?
This is not Kong.
And it's not Godzilla. This is something bigger.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rotten Tomatoes Watch List, where we go behind the scenes with the cast of some of TV's biggest shows. And when you talk about a big show, you're thinking Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Season 2. We made it to another season, guys. How we feeling?
Really good.
This is so exciting for me, and I think the first question that I had for y'all is, yes, there's a lot of new Titans, there's a lot of old Titans, there's a lot of emotion that I felt in this, there's so much action. What is it like? How do you master the art of looking up at a thing in awe or in terror? Who's the best on set at just looking up and being like, oh my God, what the hell is that?
Ari's really good at looking up and being your microphone.
Season 1, I was like really wrestling with it, trying to figure it out. And I realized it's really like to get philosophical about it. Like I get really into what each monster means to my character and what kind of response that like invokes in her. And that seemed to work pretty well. So yeah, I go with that.
And you can't look high enough. The higher you look, the bigger the monster is.
What exactly are you looking at when you're looking up, like when you're on set? What is the thing? Is it like a tennis ball? Is it just your imagination?
Sometimes a tennis ball, sometimes tape.
A laser beam.
Yeah.
So they can adjust really
that
easy.
leaf on that tree. And they were all going, which leaf are you looking at? I'm looking at the kind of red one a little bit. I'm looking at the yellow one.
Then philosophically, what does the tape mean to me?
Right.
Very, very method. I loved watching season 1, obviously, for many reasons, but seeing Kurt and Wyatt sort of play the same character. Apparently, y'all didn't really talk about, hey, how do I play like you, or how do I play you? Was there any change to going into season 2, how you approach the characters as far as, hey, we both have to play this guy together?
I'll field this one.
Well, going into season 2 is easier, I think, for us because the first season really was, there was like a direct connection. Like they do these dissolves, and there is still a direct connection. But really, where the story takes over is Keiko, played by Mari, comes out and she's thrown right into this experience that she's Rip Van Winkle. And that with Cate and with their storyline really takes on what drives the story and the emotion, and we have that experience together in the same way. Lee is portrayed that way, but it's much less of the trick and more of just like the carrying through the emotion of the person that we set up in the first season.
Mari, we talk about the Rip Van Winkle nature of your character. What's it like playing that? How do you get into that vibe of like you haven't seen any of this stuff? Like you're all new to this modern world that you found yourself thrust into.
Right. I think what's so funny is that it was while we were shooting it. I don't know if it's changed in post, but they told us season 2 takes place in 10 days, right? You didn't know that.
No clue. Wait a minute, say that again. News to me.
Yeah, he thought it was 11.
Which 10 days?
Yeah.
10 consecutive days?
I think so. And like, so one episode is 1 day basically. So she doesn't have a lot of time to like process what's happened to her really, because immediately she's thrown into monster action. And what do we do? How do we, save the world basically? At the end of season 1, we see her like losing everything and being thrown into this new world that she doesn't know, and the only thing she can hold on to is him, like that she knew basically. How do I navigate the grief of that, the sadness of it all? But at the core of it, she's such an optimistic person, and that's what I love about her. So threading that line of like, no matter what happens, she can't be consumed by that. Keep finding that optimism. So.
It's so interesting to hear you talk about that, because like I'm a huge Godzilla fan, I'm a huge King Kong fan, but I did not expect these layers of emotion that we get from Monarch. And I know your character, that there's a big decision that your character makes early on in season 2. Can you just kind of let us know, like, how is that going to inform your character and their motivation throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think in season 1, she was always running away, and in the beginning of season 2, we see her find purpose and meaning in why she needs to make this choice, and that motivates her to actually start following this family legacy instead of running away from it. So it was really powerful for me to play.
And then we have Kiersey, who is, you have an in with the Apex Corporation. How's your character feeling at the beginning of this season? Because you've been through some stuff in season 1 too.
Stressed out, I think, and overwhelmed and confused. Because like you said, season 2 is 10 days. We've been in this hole or whatever for however long, but it's been years now at this point. I described it before as like trying to play catch up with your own consciousness or something. Her realizing that life is asking something of her that maybe she's not quite ready for yet, but she has the skills. They're in the tools. They're in her back pocket.
I like that you said that because it feels like, 10 days. I didn't even realize that watching the whole season that it is just 10 days in the more modern world that we're telling. Joe, your character has this whole kind of responsibility thrust upon them. Did you feel like your character's ready for that? How did you navigate that?
I'll take that, Joe.
No. Not as an actor, not as a character, not as a human being. I think for Tim, it's a little bit of a monkey's paw wish. I think like he's wants to get out of that basement so bad, and then once he does, the responsibilities and the decisions being made at such a large scale level, he's definitely not ready for that. It's all hypothetical in the basement, but now when you're making life or death decisions, I don't think he's quite ready for that sort of stuff. But it's nice to watch him. Like, I feel like Tim is the kind of character that's just running on a treadmill that's going just faster than he knows how to run always.
The one guy that feels like they're just ready for this action and just like been craving this their whole life is that young man right there. Kurt, you're jumping into Jeeps, you're jumping into boats, you're racing towards Titans, you're going away Titans. Did you know you were signing up for this much action when you said, yeah, I'm going to be a part of the Monarch universe?
I think that when you're an actor who has been associated with some action pictures, there's a tendency to want to go there. I think that the only question that I have about that is I like, as guys get older, which I am doing, I'm old now. I think that men have to go to the point of wisdom more so, and that's where I think it's leading. But I do think that in our conversations about that stuff, guy was down there for 22 years. We don't exactly know yet what happened to him down there, and he may be a little different than we think. And there's been a lot of mystery and interesting parts of the character that you begin to find out things about that are good, bad, and indifferent. And you're going to find out more of that in the show that they're talking about doing with Wyatt, which is the Youngly stuff. You find out a lot. We're dropping Easter eggs that will be playing in an expansion of finding out how he became what he is. So I think that in going to that, I'm looking forward to, what the audience sees in season 2. Because the first season was Alice goes down the rabbit hole, and the second season is Grandma comes out to work with Alice. And so we're going to, see where that takes us with bigger, badder monsters. And we're beginning to find out more about what lives down there, what comes out of there. And I think that this season is going to be a big just a lot. It's bigger, it's badder. It's they got a lot more to it in terms of the relationships of all the family members, and it's very emotional in that regard.
Andres, let's talk relationships.
Let's
has
do
his
it.
Weapon back. We have sort of an interesting, I'll say triumvirate between your three characters back in the 50s for about a decade, just going on these different adventures. Can you kind of describe how that might evolve in season 2 between the three of you?
Yeah, I would say earlier that it's kind of like a prequel that's baked in a different way than last season. It was like two timelines that kind of correlated with each other, and the past informed the present, and a lot of things were being uncovered. There's almost now, this season 2, like a mini movie in the past that isn't even lined up with our timeline from season 1, but it still correlates to things that are happening in the modern timeline. The love triangle is alive and well. And
I don't know how well it is. It's alive.
True.
That's why I went triumvirate. I don't want to give you a triangle, and I don't want to be too leading of an interview.
Of course. But it just it deals a lot with passions and people's life passions and our characters' passions, and then passions in relationships, and what takes precedent over the other, and when, and what happens because of that.
So one of the big baddies that we get to witness in season 2 is Titan X, right? And fans are losing their minds with excitement online about what this thing could look like, what it could be capable of. What was your first experience? Was it like artwork? Was it a model? Was it just looking at the piece of tape or a tennis ball? Or do you remember the first time you laid eyes on it, any of y'all?
I feel like I would have been with Anna.
Yeah, I think we saw some previs, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we had a good idea of what it was going to look like, but I think the final edit looks scarier.
A lot better.
Yeah.
Like from the commercials, it's bigger than a whale. Because that little shot of like, that's what a whale looks like.
Blue
and
whale.
That's what Titan X looks like. I remember going in for a meeting in the production office, which was right next to a theme park, and you could hear people screaming on roller coasters as you were trying to have these like serious meetings.
It's kind of good to get you into character from what you're about to experience.
Totally.
Exactly.
And I was like, yeah, I'm always worried about what the monsters are going to look like, because like in my head, it's like a drawing that I do, and I'm like, it's like, is it going to suck? Is it going to be scary? And they're like, no, like. People are getting paid a lot of money who are really good at doing this, and they're going to make it look awesome. And then they had a picture of it on a board, and I was like, "Oh, that thing's fucking cool." Like we're
it's
good.
another level.
Like, yeah.
I also feel like introducing
really
a new monster is always it's like a gamble, because people care so much about these monsters and have such an affinity. So like it's a big roll of the dice. But once I've seen a couple episodes, and I think it looks amazing.
One of the things that's important in our show that's different, it's not Jurassic Park. These aren't dinosaurs. That's one of the big problems. But the other thing is, it's not like the movies either. In the movies, I think there's a tendency to what I call Disneyfy the character of Kong. For instance, he's getting a dental work done. It's important. This show's not going to do that. These monsters are outright horrifying. And it's fun to watch me. I get fun for me to watch Anna and Kiersey and Mari respond to, it's like when you're talking about how big they are. You're saying, so it starts there and it goes to there. That's like, you're talking about like, it's like 150 yards. Yeah, it's big. But then when you get to see the thing and how well they do it, they're all of them. Kong is, to me, there's something about him that's really bothersome. He's there. Maybe it's the human connection, but the connection to the mythology, I think, is going to start playing off more and more and more. You're going to start to understand where some of Greek mythology came from. For the people who really enjoy the MonsterVerse, that has a more human connection, a relatability, I think that's kind of fascinating. I think we're going to go further and further down that road.
That's what's so exciting about you had a new monster like Titan X, but you also now y'all get to be a big part of this world that's existed for close to 80 years now with Godzilla and King Kong and all of that mythology. What's it feel like for you guys to be a part of that world? Is that like just walking around the street? That's got to be pretty cool to like, hey, me and Godzilla are like kind of boys.
I actually do that a lot. Not that anyone asked, but I'm like, I'm homies with Kong. And then I keep walking.
I actually recently just got to meet randomly one of the people in the art department in the original 54 film, and he had a hand in making the Godzilla. He calls it the puppet in Japanese, but I guess you would say, what is it, like the mold that they were wearing, and that was something that was really special, because it felt like, wow, like he's passing the torch to me in a way. It was really beautiful. So yeah, it's epic.
Are you gonna wear a puppet outfit in season 3?
Yeah, that's the dream.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
That's why I'm doing this show. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask, is because we've come such a long way from 1954, but never when you guys were acting against like a blue screen or a green screen or anything, there was never just a guy in a costume. We're completely done with that?
Well, no. They weren't wearing a costume.
I had one of those. Did you have? Yeah, me too.
Shannon.
It was like Shannon. She was
Shannon's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to
She was
Shannon.
very good.
So we
Shannon
do have
was
a person
incredible.
still in a costume.
Yes, but not as
A
calm.
It was just a blue.
costume.
Was she in a
She's in a
blue?
blue costume, and she, because she did Planet of the Apes as well, and she was showing me all she used to be an acrobat, I believe. Well, she still is, but yeah, Shannon. Hey, girl.
Yeah, she's good.
Shout out
really
Shannon.
Good at it too. She, it gives you something.
It is so nice.
Better.
It is
really
nice
is. It
having
looks like
someone
fun.
because when there's a difference between like me pretending something's chasing me and then looking back and homegirl's in all blue head to toe. All I can see are your eyes and you're like coming at me like an ape.
And the
That's
weird
insane.
movements, yeah.
Yes, and I think I was doing this with her before I had seen what it was, and then I looked back and she started to scare me, and I was like, I'm sorry, what am I running from right now? That does help though. Get a man on stilts.
The movement is the thing that we can't predict, right? Because you have the previs and you kind of know what it looks like, but you just didn't. The thing that surprised me the most watching it was the new monster, how it moves. It was like really, really powerful and something I didn't.
I got to do something fun that you guys don't know about.
Tell me.
I have to run away from them at one point, and the scarabs are I think the scarabs are kind of great. And so I said, well, I'm going to do some stuff. I just like a somersault and then like fake kicked one off of me, and I wanted to see if they did. That scarab gets kicked. So I was like,
It's in the
but
show.
Kind of you can kind of control some things, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it 2 days ago, and that's when I came up with the question. Kurt, you get to do a lot of action. Did you expect to do this much scarab kicking in this show?
Kurt adds violence to every scene.
That's important.
We're just eating a meal and somehow there's violence.
Well, when we talk about violence, obviously we're going to talk about Kong on one hand and Godzilla on the other one. Now, they play factors in season 2, but just as a consensus group, do we like when Kong and Godzilla fight against each other, or do we like when Kong and Godzilla team up with each other? Because they've kind of done both. What's our preference here as a team?
I'm a team up guy.
Yeah. I want them to be friends.
Fuck that, fight.
There we go. Thank you, Kiersey.
Whoa, we want them
I want them
to
to fight each
and
other
team up.
and then make out.
Right? Yeah.
Like a heated rivalry with, okay.
Heated rivalry meets
Rivalry.
Kong.
Legacy of
and
monsters.
Legacy Monsters. Crossover. That's the crossover I want. That's the crossover I want.
You got to watch season 3 of Monarch. You're going to love what happens.
If there is a season 3, I think we're talking about some things that might be very interesting. Actually. Yeah. And we'll see
on board.
we'll see if
You heard it here
they got the
first,
balls to
guys.
go with that.
We've gotten scoops. We've gotten a lot of character insight. We get into some of the emotional layers of what we're going to see in season 2, which drops February 27th on Apple TV. My final question for y'all, I want to start with Kiersey and then kind of go around the horn, and we'll end with Anna. Unless Kurt wants to play, up to you. Kiersey, I'm going to ask each one of y'all, first movie that pops in your head when I say the name Kurt Russell.
I hate to do the first one.
You're gonna
okay,
embarrass
hold on. I know I am going to embarrass you because we just talked about claws, and I'm so sorry. It was just Christmas. So unfortunately, you said the first thing that popped in my mind. Not the best. Go ahead.
What was it?
That was your best work as well. You
What's
Santa
that?
Claus.
Oh, fuck, I'm great Santa Claus.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
And I
are.
love that
The
you
best.
wanted to make it. Yes. And we
A
talked-
real Santa Claus. Yeah, I think I've never been done. What about that?
All right, so we set the bar at Santa Claus, Joe.
I think it's a tie between Silkwood and Captain Ron.
Nice, okay. Eclectic?
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
Range, man.
Easy for me. Used cars.
Yeah.
It's Bob Zemeckis' greatest film and my favorite film of my dad. Informed most of my humor.
Mari, what's the Kurt Russell movie that pops into your head?
The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
It's got to be Big Trouble in Little China.
These are and all different answers. Anna?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Kurt, do you want to play? If the first movie...
I'm going to bring this down to reality here. One of the things that's really fun about this show is the great actors that we have in this show, and it showcases them. Still congratulating on her Emmy win last year. Tak got nominated. Wyatt did a movie that's been nominated in the Western world, Western heritage. All of these guys, they've done a fantastic job putting really good actors together. I'm really proud and happy to be a part of it. And I think that we're all trying to do something that really hasn't been done in the MonsterVerse world, which is this is real. This is a what if. What if you woke up tomorrow morning and one of those son of a bitches was coming at you? What would you do? And it's fun to work with them, and they all know great acting when they see it. So
There it is. But I should have won an Emmy for Elvis.
Give the man his flowers as Santa Claus, for goodness sakes. The answer I was looking for was Overboard. That is my answer.
There you
Is
go.
Overboard. For the entire cast of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, my name is Mark Ellis. Thanks for checking out the watch list, and we'll see you real soon right here on Rotten Tomatoes.